Meet Matt. Matt is a business owner who realizes that attending networking events will help him build new relationships and grow his business. But one look online, and he was quickly overwhelmed by the vast amount of events going on around him, each charging a separate entry fee. He had no idea which ones to attend. Matt then found out about Network USA. Network USA offers a ton of opportunities to network for a fixed price of only $30 per month. That's right, Matt now has access to multiple networking groups, monthly events, workshops, meetups, and many other benefits for only $1 a day. Network USA, it's who you know.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Network USA TV. I got a very special guest next to me, a guest speaker, my co-host, Jill Sabrocki. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm very excited to be here.
I fired Bill, so now you're here.
All right, good. I'm ready. Sorry, Bill.
Actually, it's Bill's birthday today.
Oh, we have to wish him a happy birthday.
So, happy birthday, Bill. We're in good hands.
Absolutely.
We're in good hands.
Hope you're enjoying yourself.
I thank you.
Thank you.
Usually what we do here is I'll recap 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago we had on our show Brian Goldman. He's a real estate lawyer. His wife is a divorce attorney. Okay. Great guy. He came on as a real estate attorney, and he also came on what his primary focus is personal injury.
Okay.
And what we
must have had a lot of good stories.
Yes. And what we did actually is we actually connected him to a chiropractor.
Okay. Oh, that's great. It's a great match.
We brought a chiropractor on, which, mind you, it's a funny story. He came on, loved the set, thanks to Madhouse TV, and we're actually going to put on a chiropractor show here now.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So it's going to be
good information.
It's going to be great. We got a lot of new shows coming on board, which we'll discuss. But so we put a chiropractor and a personal injury together, and it was
it's a natural hit.
It was a mega hit.
Yeah.
The chiropractor was just beyond informative.
Great.
Beyond informative.
Right. And they're very passionate, I find. Yes. They're very, very passionate in what they do.
Yes.
And they don't like the criticism.
Correct.
That they sometimes get.
Correct.
And they do get a bad rep, because I can tell you I used one, and he really saved my life. I didn't want to go for the shots. I didn't want to go for that kind of medicine. And he really got me up and walking.
Good.
So their rap is really bad, and they get very defensive, I find.
They do. But we had a good show. We had a very good show. Good. So as I told you, we have a chiropractor show starting.
Good.
I'm putting together, remember the dating game and Love Connection?
Yes, yes.
So I'm actually bringing that back.
Oh, good.
And I think we're going to do that through Madhouse TV.
Okay.
A few other shows.
We're doing a little matchmaking?
Little matchmaking. We're actually teaming up with Maureen Tara Nelson, who's the #1 matchmaker in the tri-state.
Really?
So she's going to be actually hosting the show. So it'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
We're actually doing a Spanish show.
Okay.
A Latino Hispanic show.
Okay.
Which will come in. Half of it will be in Spanish, half of it will be in English.
It's great. Great.
And a few others. So I'm looking.
Any cooking shows? Baking shows?
We're actually talking to Oh My Girls. Oh My Girls is a place, an interactive location in Syosset, where they actually take elementary, middle, and high school girls, and they bring them in, and there's a whole kitchen set up and everything.
Wow. That's great.
It's awesome. So I think we're going to do
that'll be good.
live streams of cooking there.
Yes.
It'll be cool.
Those are so interesting. They're just really interesting that people have that talent.
It'll be very cool.
Good.
It'll be very cool. Just to let you guys know a few events that are coming up that I want to get to know. Let's start. I want to see how you're doing. But May 29th is Market New York Expo in the city.
Okay.
At the Met Pavilion. We're actually, Network USA is actually having a booth there.
Okay.
A very interactive booth there. So definitely come on down. If you guys are available, and ladies, May 29th in the city.
How many people are you expecting?
Market New York Expo is expecting a little over 1,000 people to walk through the door throughout the day.
Wow.
So it's an expo. It's a big expo.
Okay.
They run the Small Business Expo that happens in October at the Jacob Javits Center.
Okay.
So it's the same company.
Okay.
June 6th, Network USA is actually hosting a meet and greet with the cast of The Familia. It's a spin-off of The Sopranos.
Oh.
So Angelina, I don't know her last name, I think Pavaric from Jersey Shore.
Okay.
She's part of that show. She'll be coming into
that's
the meet and
great.
greet.
Okay.
We're taking the whole left side of Jewel, and we're doing a whole red carpet event. and
Beautiful,
everything.
beautiful
It's gonna
restaurant.
be great.
Very good area.
And last but not least, July 10th, which is another big event, we are going to host Casino Night, and that will be downstairs at Jewel. We're going to take the whole place and turn it into a casino.
It's great.
And we're going to be raising money for Cleaning Angels USA.
Great.
So it's great. You know, a lot of stuff is happening through Network USA.
Yep.
But let me talk to my co-host.
Uh-oh.
I like this. This is like a woman-man thing. I think I like this. Bill, watch out.
Kelly and Michael, here we come.
Right. So talk to me. How are you? How's everything?
Everything is good.
How's business?
Business is good. You know, I
Good.
was on one time and I was
Yes.
promoting the body shop. My husband and I have First Class Collision in
Yes.
Westbury. And thank God, you know, we're holding our own. And
Good. How's the reverse mortgages going?
you know, I'm now the director of reverse mortgages for Centerpoint Funding.
Ooh,
And
look at
yes, I've gotten a big
you.
promotion, and we're out there helping all the seniors, and it's wonderful. It's just a wonderful, wonderful experience. So thanks to
Good.
you and all my
Good.
networking, and I'm out there, and
I love it.
and I'm just fulfilling my need to help
How
people.
is networking going? I know that you just sponsored, I believe, Kathy Berger's event.
Yes, that
last
was-
Monday, Image for Fashion Society.
Yeah, we
How was
raised a
that?
lot of money for autism. That was a fundraiser for
Awesome.
autism.
She hosts awesome events.
Yeah.
She
There
really
had to be
does.
almost 100 people, there.
It
was a great
You know what I like
turnout.
about her events? It's high caliber people.
Yes, because it's a pay-per events.
I like that.
And the
I like
pay-per
it.
events, you're going to get that.
like
You're going to
that.
get the business owners. You're going to get the people that
I like
really
that.
want to do business and meet new people. And they were such fascinating people. And what's nice about after those events, you know, people will find you on Facebook or LinkedIn. And now you have all these connections, and now you're open to all their connections as well.
Exactly.
So your book of business just continually grows by just sponsoring an event and attending an event like that.
Exactly.
You know, so it's been wonderful.
Good. Well,
Networking is the way to go.
I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad that you're here. I
Thank
thank
you.
you again. You know, I can get used to this.
Yes, absolutely.
Today's show, I love.
Yes.
Today's show, I love for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
One reason is I'm with all girls. So I'm gonna love that. To
And
begin
beautiful women we
with.
have
And
here.
beautiful women.
Yes.
I heard that we may have a Meryl Streep lookalike.
Yes, we do.
So it's gonna. I'm looking
She
forward
is one
to that.
of my best friends.
I'm
and
not your best friend.
She's amazing. Of course you are. But she's an amazing
But I'm
woman.
looking forward to that.
Yes.
And we have an actual actuary. That's cool.
That's
an
good.
actual actuary on.
Yes.
People may think that, an actuary, they're boring.
Yeah.
This woman,
No.
far from boring.
She is so not the definition
far
of
from
actuary.
boring.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
How about yourself?
Very exciting. You know, it's the first time I'm meeting her.
Good.
So you know, it's nice to know and nice to see, you know, what she does and how she's out in the community, also helping business owners, which would be beneficial to myself as well.
Good.
So good
Well,
to know.
we're gonna shoot to commercial. When we get back from commercial, you and I will tackle what we have today.
Great.
Stay tuned. Again, Jill, thank you very much.
Thanks for having
You ready
me.
to network?
Ready to network.
Let's network. We'll be back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our 2 offices. Thank you.
Welcome back. So, great intro.
Yes, great intro.
Great intro, and I think we should just jump right in. What about you?
Absolutely.
Let's introduce our first guest, Dawn Faniello, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I got it right. I love it.
Aniello.
I got it.
Yes.
From ERP Actuaries.
Yes.
Great, an actual actuary.
He loves this.
Right?
That's
Loves
right.
this line.
I love it. I love
Yes,
it.
Loves this line.
So how are you?
Good. I'm doing well.
Great. I thank you for coming on to the show. I
Thank you for
appreciate
inviting
that. So let's start off really quick. I know a lot of people think of actuaries. When they think of actuaries, they think of, oh, she works with numbers.
Right.
Yeah, but a
Okay.
lot of people don't know what actuaries really are.
That's right.
Correct.
Unless you're in a business, you would be like, what's an actuary? Because I have to say, most people, 9 out of 10, would not know what an actuary is. So why don't you tell us exactly what an actuary is?
She is good. Look at this.
I know. Tell us what an
I'm
actuary
off.
is
There's
and what you
several
do.
different types of actuaries,
Right.
but they mainly work for insurance companies,
Right.
Calculating figures. What we specialize in is pension actuaries. We have pension actuaries with our firm.
Okay, so what does that mean to real people?
Well, basically, what we do is we handle the retirement plans. Qualified retirement plans are regulated by the IRS and the Department of Labor, and they need a credentialed professional to certify the Schedule B 5500s. It's a tax form that's required on these type of plans. So we need an actuary. So I actually am not a full actuary. I'm an actuarial consultant. I don't have all my exams.
Okay.
But we do have actuaries in-house within our company that certify all these type of tax forms.
So what is your main focus?
My main focus is on sales, development of the business.
Okay.
I had my firm as well as ERP. We did the same type of work, and recently we merged.
Okay.
We merged because we're trying to get out to the Long Island business owners and let them know that they need to either look at what they have, if they have a qualified retirement plan, or if they don't, that they need to look at something like this in order to save taxes. Right now, Long Island business owners, as myself, you are, we're seeing the taxes significantly increase tremendously. And this is a great way to be able to put some of the money back into our own pocket rather than paying the IRS. You could decrease the amounts significantly with these type of plans.
That's interesting. You know, during our segment, your logo, ERP Actuaries, will come up, okay, so people can actually look for you and get you up there. For the time being, if you can just look into the camera, let them know how they can contact you. If you can let them know your phone number and how to contact you. We will also post it at the end of the show as well.
Right.
So if you could just briefly just tell them, please.
Right, absolutely. If I always give out my cell number, very personalized service. Love working with most of the Long Island business owners. I could always be reached on my cell, and that's 516-965-9682. We also have an office in Melville. So we're local. We have an office in the city and an office in Melville. So we could be reached for any business owner in the tri-state area.
Great. Now let's go through, let's say, the typical day. Okay, the typical day of an actuary consultant and actuary. What exactly does that entail? What exactly do you do on a daily basis?
Okay. Well, I'm away from actually doing the physical calculations. I was doing that for a long period of time when I started my business. Now the business has developed tremendously, so I'm able to just go out, focus on the business owner, sit down with them, sit down with their accountant, the key person. That accountant, that CPA, will give me that magic number. What is this business owner paying today? Are they paying $50,000 in taxes? Are they paying $100,000 in taxes? We can develop plans. It's an unbelievable amount of money that we can save a business owner, and they could go in the couple of $100,000 range.
Now, just explain to me, the money comes from where and goes to where?
Okay, so you would get your tax bill. Any business owner knows we pay taxes quarterly.
Yes, we do.
And we don't like these numbers, and they're getting higher and higher and higher.
Yes.
So what we see is I take a look at it with the CPA to say, this organization, what did they pay last year in taxes? We'll use this as an example. They paid $50,000 in taxes. We would like to see, so they have to write the government a check, $50,000. What we're able to do are retirement plans, and the ratio is about 50%, a little lower than 50%. So we would take the $50,000 that you would pay and try to put $25,000 into a qualified retirement plan, take the other $25,000, and that would be what you technically owe the IRS. This is all legal, legitimate. It's just considered another business expense.
So that's what I'm saying, like the IRS can't be happy to hear that you're doing this.
It's one of the tax codes, tax regulations that are out there that you are allowed legally to do. It's a business expense.
Speaking of taxes, when we first met, the first question that I asked you is, you're saying this is one of the legal taxes what you could do. Why can't a CPA or a certified accountant do what you do? Why would someone need an actuary, let's say, or ERP, instead of going to their CPA and saying, hey, I know you can do this, do it for me?
They don't specialize in the area with the qualified retirement plans. Some CPAs can complete a form, but just like I don't do my own personal or my corporate tax return, I want somebody that's doing it every day. This is what we do every day. Our staff is certified. They have all their credentials. This is what they specialize in. And I think I had mentioned this before when we were talking before. We have 93,000 pages of tax codes
I was going to ask you about
that
that.
we need to focus on.
Yes.
This is what we do.
Right.
This is the professionals. There aren't too many people that do what we do. There aren't too many organizations in our areas that specialize in what we do.
You have fun?
I actually do have fun. I do.
Good.
You know why? Because this is why I have fun. Because when I look at a business owner that I see, a Long Island business owner, I'm trying to support all Long Island business owners, and I look at them and I could reduce the costs for them and and actually put the money away for them, for their husband, for if they have children working in the business, and put some money away. I know that they're going to be okay, that they're putting this money away for their retirement.
How do you get your referrals? How do you get your business?
Most of my business that I get is from the business owners. I go out and network. Okay. I'm a big networker. And I think I do a really good job at communicating what I do.
Yes.
Now
You do.
Confuse it.
You
I
do.
don't confuse it. I could, again, get into all the calculations. Nobody wants to hear that.
Right.
Bottom line is, what can I save in taxes? And what can I put away?
Do you find that the business owners know about that they are able to do this, or when you're talking to them, it's like a new product for them?
It is like a new product.
Okay.
And that's my goal. In the last year, I'm trying to do more presentations
Okay.
to business owners to let them know that's out there for them. And a lot of them are not aware of it. A lot of them have plans that aren't designed properly.
Correct.
So I will come in, take a look at what they have, and show them.
Interesting.
Right.
Yes.
There's a lot of plans they're through payroll companies. They don't specialize in this area
Correct.
of administration, and they don't have the proper plan design.
So we're out networking. Jill and I are out networking, and we come across a lot of business owners. Who should Jill and I and anyone out there, look when they go out? Oh, that would be great for Dawn. Oh, I know. Let me introduce Dawn to this person. Who exactly are you looking for? I know a business owner is very vague. Okay, is there a particular industry besides CPAs and accountants that you want to meet?
Professional practices are a great start for
You're
me.
saying like medical.
Medical, dentist, attorney groups are great candidates for these plans. They have great demographics for these type of plans.
Well, we actually have an attorney on the show today.
Oh.
Maybe we can hook you up with that as
That's
well
great,
later.
that's
So
great.
that would be great. But it's interesting, it's interesting because not a lot of people know, how do I refer an actuary? How do I refer an
How would I
actuary
introduce?
consultant?
Or how do I introduce
Even
an
introduce
actuary?
them.
Like,
It's hard.
first of all, I'm sure it would be hard to pronounce as well, And then,
Actuary.
right. But I'm just saying, I have a great actuary for you to meet. I mean,
Well, no, you wouldn't
that's a
say
little
that.
awkward.
It is, because, and that's why I try not to confuse it, although we're an
Yes.
actuarial consulting firm, we're basically pension consultants,
Okay,
retirement
that's better.
plan consultants. And I don't even really go into detail when I do my presentations at most networking events. I explain what a background is. And some people heard of actuaries, but my main goal is to focus on the fact is that they need to save in taxes.
Can a financial advisor do this also?
No, they can't. They come in with the investments. We work with plenty of financial advisors. They come in with the investments. They need us. They need to put us in front of the client. There are regulations on these plans.
Got it.
Again, they're IRS regulated. You're getting a tax deduction, so the IRS is going to look at this. It's
Absolutely.
going to make sure that you're in compliance, that you're running the plan right, and that you're following the IRS regulations, the 93,000 pages
Right.
of
That
regulations.
is
Like I said,
unbelievable.
your logo will be generating, through it. If you can once again just look into the camera and just let them know how they can contact you, please. I'd appreciate that.
Yes, I can be reached on my cell, 516-965-9682.
Great. I appreciate that. We're going to shoot to commercial shortly. Before we do, would you like to say anything else to our viewers? Any last things that you may want to come across or get across, I should say, in regarding what ERP is or an actuary consultant or anything that Jill and I should know to express to our viewers?
Absolutely. I think if any of the business owners, you paid significant amount of taxes this year, you definitely should sit down with me. Let me take a look at your organization, and let's see how we could put some of the money back in your pocket.
Is your consultation
That's great.
free or do you charge?
Absolutely. No, it's free.
Okay.
It's free.
Good to know.
I think that was very nicely and said and quickly said. I thank you. I thank you for
Thank you.
coming on the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope
Yes, I did.
I hope you do stay. We will see you, of course, later on. We're going to shoot the commercial. When we
Thank
get
you.
back, we'll
Thank you.
introduce our other guest, which
Yes.
I'm happy about. Yet
Yes.
another woman. I love this. and I
Another
think
fascinating woman.
I think if I see it correctly, I think Meryl Streep will be here.
Okay.
But
Looking forward to
we'll
it.
see what happens.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Welcome back. That was great. Didn't you find that
Great.
segment? I thought that was a really great segment.
Very, very, very informative.
Yes.
You
I
know,
love when we
learned-
have these guests that most people don't know about, and we're able to introduce these guests to the community.
Yeah.
You know, they're not people that you would run into in the street every single day. So I like that aspect of it.
I loved it. You know, I
So I
loved it.
thought that was really
very
great.
informative.
Yeah.
Dawn was very, very informative.
Yes.
So
And I think the viewers learned a lot, as well as myself.
exactly.
Now
Let's,
I'd like to introduce our
yeah.
next guest.
I love it.
Our next guest is Miss Diana Bromberg. She is a disability attorney, and we're going to let you tell the viewers, all about yourself.
Well, welcome, Diana.
Thank you.
Thank you for having being on
Welcome
the
to
show.
our set.
I think I already exhausted the Meryl Streep, so that's done.
Yes.
That's done. We all know you look like her.
Yes.
So let's get to business.
All right.
Yes.
Michael, Jill, thank you so much for having me. As they said, I am Diana Bromberg, and I am a partner at Bromberg and Enriquez PC, which is a disability law firm. And most people don't know what a disability law firm is. It's not just when you're not able to work. It's not just when you're hurt. It's really a lot of levels to it. One of the things that we do is called workers' compensation. So the basics of it is you got hurt at work. You are entitled to compensation, money for being out of work. You're entitled to get your medical bills paid for without any out-of-pocket expenses. That's really important because you don't have to worry about medical insurance. You don't have to worry about co-pays, deductibles, minimums, maximums. Most people don't know that. One of the key things with workers' compensation is when you get hurt, you have to notify your employer. So, I mean, throughout our day, you know, you bang an elbow, you bang a knee, you're not going to run to your supervisor or your employer and say, hey, I just banged my elbow or my knee. But if your knee is swelling, if you can't get up from your sitting position, you're bleeding, you want to tell your employer. If it's the next day or the day after, tell your employer, even if it turns out to be nothing. But, you know, notice is a really big issue. The other thing with workers' comp is there's a lot of gray areas. Most people don't know about the gray areas. Carpal tunnel syndrome is covered under workers' compensation. Asthma can be covered under compensation if you were exposed to some kind of fumes at work. Heart attacks have been found to be compensable in workers' compensation cases. People who go and do very heavy labor, and as a result, their blood pressure elevates, things happen to them, and they can get compensation through workers' compensation. So you never know what is compensable under workers' comp, so it's always really wise to contact my office. Consultation is free. I can explain what your rights are. And that's what I'm passionate about, really getting people to know what their rights are.
That's great. You know, and speaking of contacting your office, your logo will be popping up throughout the show. If you can just let people know how to reach you. Just look into the camera and state your information. And again, we will, of course, post it as well.
Thank you. So the name of the firm is Bromberg and Enriquez PC. We're located in Hempstead and Fresh Meadows. We also just opened up an office in Jackson Heights. The best number to reach us is 718-714-8542. Once you do become our client, we do give you our cell phone numbers. Email is the easiest way to contact us. We have a website that you can take a look at to see who we are, what we're about, and that's the best way to reach us.
Great, thank you. When you said about workers' comp, and I know Jill and I both have been in insurance prior to what we're doing now, what's the difference? And a lot of employers and employees don't really understand the workers' comp insurance aspect of it. Does the insurance cover it? Where do you step in regarding the insurance? Do you personally work with the insurance companies when it does come to workers' comp?
Okay. So every employer in New York State that has at least one employee must have workers' compensation. So it's like getting a policy on your car. You get a policy, and if anything happens to your employees, you file a claim with the insurance company. So you're not suing your employer. There's no lawsuit. It's just a claim with the insurance company. And what I do is I step in and deal with the insurance company on your behalf so that you don't have to worry about the paperwork. You don't have to worry about the information being given to you by the insurance company, who realistically is in the business of saving their money, not paying out money. So I am the best liaison between you and the insurance company to maximize your benefit. I will get you medical treatment covered. If you're entitled to some kind of compensation because you have a permanent injury, I can get you compensated for that. The insurance company is not going to come to you and tell you, here's your compensation. You have to fight for it, and that's what I do.
Do you find that the employees are afraid to make a claim against their employers, thinking that, you know, there's going to be some ramifications of their job or whatever's going on with them?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of times you'll find blue-collar workers will be very hesitant about filing claims. And what I tell them is that your insurance company for your employer has coverage for a reason. And the reason is that if something happens, you're covered. That's why I tell you, you know, would I tell my employer every time I bang my hand or bang my knee? No, because that's just something that will probably resolve. But when you have a serious injury, you should get compensated. So you cannot be fired for filing a claim, but New York is at will employment, so unfortunately, an employer, unless you have a contract, can terminate your terminate you, but you would still be covered medically and for benefits if you are terminated under workers' comp.
What happens if an employer doesn't have this coverage? Is that possible?
Uh-oh.
Well, seriously, I mean, really, is that possible that you have an accident?
They could be
and, you know,
fined at the wazoo,
It's
no?
unfortunate when the employer doesn't have coverage because they now become personally responsible, and those liabilities are huge. We've actually represented numerous employers who fail to get coverage, and our retainer is a minimum of $5,000 up front just to litigate a claim that
a lot.
you will still be responsible for this person's medical bills, this
Wow.
person's lost time. An insurance, you know, a workers' compensation policy is negligible compared to what you would have to pay if you don't have insurance. So for me, you know, I'll represent this employer because we get compensated for it, but
Yeah, why not?
right, you know, but I strongly recommend anytime I am at speaking engagements, at networking events, the first thing I do is if you're an employer, get insurance.
Yeah.
Because it's much cheaper to have the insurance than have a claim against
Do you feel that some employers don't know if they have it or not?
Oh, I
would
think
hope they
that
know.
You know,
I
yeah,
would
but
hope
you
they would
know,
know.
maybe they depend on
Well,
other people.
Well, if
or
you have workers' comp, though, don't you have to put in your store or whatever the workers' comp
Is that part of it?
posters?
well, you're supposed to put information regarding workers' compensation, but what
Right.
people need to know, especially employers, is day laborers, anyone who walks into your business or does business for you, even if they're on the job for a minute, 5 minutes, or 5 years, they are entitled to a claim. So if you just hired someone and you told them to go across the street to get you a cup of coffee and they get injured, they're covered. And if you didn't have insurance, you're going to be liable.
and it doesn't matter if they're on the books or off the books. Is that
Exactly.
correct?
That's correct. It doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Independent contractors, you still need workers' comp for them.
Independent contractors, the definition is also very tricky because independent contractors, to be considered independent contractor, you have to have no control over their actions. So it's basically, I hire you to do a service that only you have. So you're an independent contractor. But if I hire you and give you the tools, give you the materials, give you everything to do the work for me, you're not an independent contractor because I exercise enough control over your actions to be considered an
You know,
employer.
I have one of my
That's very
clients
interesting.
is a party server. So it's an outside party company, party server.
Right.
They go into homes or catering halls with their wait staff, and then they
Right.
do it.
Right.
And they're all independent contractors. And so what happens is that some of the places require them to still have workers' comp.
Yes.
So we would have to get a workers' comp policy for them, regardless if they're an independent contractor or not.
Yes.
You know, it's very interesting. 2 questions. First question is, let's say, God forbid, I get hurt on a job. Okay, something happens. What are my steps? Do I call you first? Do I talk to my boss first? Do I check my insurance first? How does that work? What are the steps?
Okay. So depending on the type of injury you have, you should always, as I said in the beginning, notify your employer. You would fill out an incident report if one is available. If not, you would contact the attorney, and the attorney can file a form with the state, which acts as an incident report. And as long as we do it within 30 days, we don't have any issue on notice. Then you would want to make sure you see a doctor, so the doctor can tell you what you're entitled to. I can find out from the internet who the employer's workers' compensation insurance is. So we don't even need a claim number. We can automatically find out who it is, and you can get treatment. A lot of doctors who I work with will see you and wait for the insurance company information. So you don't have to wait weeks, months to be seen, because what happens is the delay in treatment can actually make the condition worse.
Right. I can see
And
that. Yeah, I
you know,
can see
the other
that.
part of what we do at our firm is if, God forbid, someone becomes so disabled from an injury at work, or even if someone is sick or disabled from other illnesses or injuries that they have, doesn't have to be work-related. We also deal with the government on Social Security disability, which is something that if you get paid on the books and you've been paying into the system your whole life, you're entitled to get compensated from the government for money that you worked and paid into the system before you reach the age of 65. So, and people who don't file now, I say, why don't you file it? We don't know what's going to happen in 20 years. We don't know if that benefit's going to be
Interesting.
available to you. Now it is. Apply. They look at your age, your experience. They look at different things to see whether you qualify. And depending on your condition, you can get compensated. And it doesn't have to be forever. If you get better and you're able to return to the workforce, you can stop collecting Social Security disability.
That's very interesting. I have two more questions. Are you talking? My mind just keeps going.
Yeah, because you're not giving me a chance to speak, so
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
This is very intriguing.
Yes, it is.
I get hurt on the job.
Yes.
What's the difference between me going to a workers' comp lawyer or me going to a personal injury attorney?
It's the same difference as going to a dermatologist for a foot problem. So, yes, you can go to
Look at
a
that.
general
Quick.
practitioner who can take on your case and probably initially file the proper paperwork on your behalf. But you want to have a specialist who knows the tricks of the trade, which is what I do and I've been doing for the last 13 years. I know the insurance company keywords. I know the key figures. There's a probably 300 or 400 page medical treatment guideline book that tells doctors and lawyers what the court is looking for in terms of finding permanency. So I have 2 paralegals. We have Spanish speaking and I speak Russian. So, you know, we kind
You
of
do?
have, yes, I do.
Yes, you did. You should know her
We should
history.
have
I'm
a
not
Russian-
just
we should have a
Meryl Streep
Russian-
lookalike.
We should have a Russian show. That would be awesome.
Well, you should hear the history. You see, there's a history behind her. Beyond this.
Sorry.
I think one of the things that makes
Forgive
my
me,
firm
please.
interesting is that both my partner, Nicole, and I I'm an immigrant, she's a child of an immigrant, so we know how difficult it is for immigrants to navigate the system. I know my parents would get paperwork and they're like, what is this? Can you take a look at this? Even now, the clients that I have who are immigrants, they'll get any piece of paper and they want me to look at it and just make them feel better that it's not something that's going to be devastating. So that's, you know, my passion. I really want to help people
Good.
navigate the system.
Right.
Last question. Last question. On the job, off the job injuries. You can deal with both of them. If I fall in my house, let's say, not work-wise.
Okay.
It's not a workers' comp, of course.
Right.
But can you deal with that as well?
Well, when you fall at home, okay, you really have limited
Who are you going to sue?
benefit.
Yourself?
You don't, well,
Excuse me.
I was just
asking you
asking,
a
and I'm like
Sorry,
thinking, like,
sorry.
who are you
Forget a
gonna
house.
sue?
I fell in Jill's house.
oh, now we have a
okay?
lawsuit.
I fell in Jill's house, and I want
That's
to come
even
after Jill. Okay?
Did
Can
you trip over your own
can you-
feet?
That's
I
where
tripped over her mess. Okay?
Well-
Can you deal with it?
I would deal with a second component of that. So you would initially go to a personal injury attorney.
Got it.
That
Okay.
would handle dealing, and that's a lawsuit. So they
Got
would
it.
file a lawsuit
Coming after Jill.
against Jill, who has insurance, and she would have her insurance
Got it.
company fight.
Perfect.
And then if you're unable to work for more than 5 months, and it looks like you're going to be out of work for at least a year,
Got it.
I help you with Social Security disability.
I am done asking my questions.
As the segment is now over.
Still got about a minute.
Oh, we have a minute.
Would you like to ask anything?
I would like to. So tell us a little bit. You had, touched upon the fact that you were an immigrant, and I just find that it's just a very fascinating story. So just give us a little background on that.
I gotta get my popcorn. Hold on.
So my parents and I immigrated to the United States in 1980 from the former Soviet Union. It's now Belarus is the portion of Russia that we're originally from. And, so I was a little girl, came to the U.S. My parents had to change their whole life and do, professions that they were not used to. My father became a blue-collar worker. My mother was in the beauty industry, and they basically made sure we had an education and that we strive for something more. So I definitely like to give back to the community, and I actually am participating in a walk on this Saturday, which Jill and I are for.
Yes.
My mother unfortunately passed away from cancer, so I do a walk every year in her memory. It's a Revlon walk, and we
Very
raise money.
nice.
Last year we raised over $10,000
Yes, we did.
for cancer.
Awesome.
And
Where do you walk?
in
We
the
watched
city.
it in the city, in
Yeah.
Times
Love
Square,
it.
Central Park.
Yeah.
But when you came over, just to go back to this point, did you speak any English when you came
No.
to America?
No, we spoke absolutely no English.
Wow.
There was a group of immigrants that came in. We were all put in one school, and we had probably a class for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and then we were just thrown into the general population of the school. And
You're very fluent in Russian.
yes,
Yes.
I speak Russian fluently. I understand it.
Well, in English, if you can look into the camera and just yet again just express to our viewers how to contact you. Your logo will come up, and then we'll wrap up to commercial, and then we'll come back. So if you can, please.
So please give us a call at 718-714-8542. Consultation is free. You can also send us an email at info, @b as in boy, h as in Henry, nylaw.com, and we'll get an email and we can respond, give you a call back. We speak Spanish, Russian, and English. So any questions, please don't hesitate to call. There is no stupid question in our book.
And in Russian now, can you say we'll be back?
Мы скоро вернемся.
We'll be back.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC. The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
Stop the truck! Stop the truck! Thank you.
Welcome back. Awesome.
great. I mean, really great
Awesome.
women,
I
great
apologize
guests
for
today.
taking over
Yes, that was
your-
the Michael
your
segment.
segment.
Fine. Yes, we all know he couldn't shut up during it. But that's okay. It
I
was
love
really
it.
a lot of good information.
It's great
and
information.
that was the best
It's
part
great
about it.
information.
Absolutely.
Without question. Ladies, you know, I both thank you, and I speak for Jill as well. I thank both of you for being here.
Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying the show. Jill,
Yeah.
what do you think?
I think that I see a little bit of a connection, a little synergy going on in the room. You know, you're saying that, you know, a good referral for you is, you know, law firms. And here we have an attorney with a lot, and she has a million connections because we're big networkers together as well. So I really see that the two of you could be very beneficial, that you have a lot of business people that have employees that you can help her with, and you can help her introduce her to various law firms to help them in the tax situation. So what do you think about that?
No, absolutely. It's always good to get in front of anybody who would be able to refer business. I know I do a lot of networking, and it's amazing how I get the referral source. It snowballs.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. And I know a lot of businesses and a lot of small businesses that really don't understand and have that benefit and are always scared that, you know, well, I don't make enough money, or, you know, I already have someone. So it's always a good idea to talk to somebody else.
Yes.
It's definitely great. Networking is a very powerful tool. You know that.
You know what? It's the only way to go. You know, print ad doesn't work. We talk about that all the time. And really, it's being in front of people and seeing the passion in people. Obviously, we have very passionate people among the four of us, among all that we do and all our networking and all our fundraising. And I think that's really what makes us good networkers and good people, in that our sole function is to help people.
Exactly.
It's not just about us. It's about what can we do for the community. How can we raise money? You know, in the Walk for Cancer we're doing. I did an autism event on Monday night. You know, Michael's doing all of his events to raise money and raise awareness.
Well, helping, you said it, you know, it's
You're
all about
helping-
helping each other.
Exactly.
You know, I said in my networking group this morning, I was talking about people, because the issue with networking and the problem is the fact that, you know, let's say for an example, let's pick on, let's say a personal injury attorney, okay? Let's say a personal injury attorney. A lot of people in the networking world go out and say, how am I going to refer a personal injury? I don't know anyone that gets hurt. I don't know anyone that trips. The problem with networking, and I know that you have a lot to say about what I'm about to say, is you got to think outside the box.
Yes.
Don't go out and say, okay, I got to find someone who trips.
No.
Who can you introduce to a personal injury attorney? Oh, what happened 2 weeks ago? We introduced a personal injury attorney to a chiropractor. Why not introduce? So you're the thing outside the box. With that said, and we'll talk to you first, and we'll go thinking outside the box. And what do you think? What other industries or something? And I know we said CPAs. I know we said financial advisors. But is there anything else that we may be missing that could potentially be helpful to you?
Payroll companies. We deal with a lot of payroll
Okay,
companies.
that's a good
Payroll when
connection.
they
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes,
good.
401k deductions get done through payroll.
Okay.
So we're in front of the same people all the time.
Right. Okay, so that's a good connection right there.
Payroll
Absolutely,
companies.
payroll
Yes.
company.
And I think that, you know, in networking, it's not that you can look for a specific person for that person. You have to let life happen. You have to live life. And then as life is happening, as we know, you never know who you're going to meet. And then you meet somebody, oh, you know what, do you have somebody that can handle, I just got hurt, I don't know what to do, or, you know, my life is in shambles, can you, you know, do you know anybody? And that's really what it's about. So
Exactly.
do you not agree with that?
Right. No, I believe that to be successful in a networking, you need to align yourself with people who want to network with you, but who want to introduce you to the right people. And the right people, you never know who the right people is until you make that introduction. And introducing someone doesn't cost you anything. So
Right.
it's the best way to meet people. Somebody, they may have somebody that they can introduce you to. So getting to know someone, meeting someone, really is the best way
Right.
to network and the best way to find that niche that you're
Who would you
looking
want to
for.
meet? Thinking outside the box, you know, besides other attorneys. Because everyone thinks, oh, let me put an attorney within another attorney.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
be thinking outside the
Well-
box. And I know Jill knows you a lot also.
Right.
What are the connections that you
Well,
take?
anytime I can do a speaking engagement, like my partner has actually did something on Monday where she spoke, her son has a stuttering, and she spoke at a fundraiser that was for stutterers. And she was able to talk about the things that she is able to do with her son, but at the same time, introduce herself to people who are not necessarily going to connect with or think of us on a first level basis. So speaking engagements are always great. You know, union guys like the foremans, the business agents, you know, people who really
the big companies.
Right.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, people
the
who
big
need
companies.
the workers come to first and say, hey, this happened to me at work, what do I do?
Right.
So I could be that person that they call and say, hey, this is what happened to one of my workers.
Right.
What can I do for them? Where can I
Exactly.
direct them?
Exactly.
And I think the bigger firms also, they don't have attorneys that do what Diana does. You know, so, and I'm sure a lot of attorneys don't have what Dawn does either. You know, so it's always nice for the bigger firms also to say, listen, you know, you're a business owner. This is what I see what's going on with your business. Or, you know what, we don't have anybody that can help these individuals that come here and get hurt or whatever. So, you know what, and as we always say, this is not an instantaneous thing. You don't walk into a room and say, okay, I'm here.
Right.
You know,
Building
it takes
relationships.
time.
Right.
Time. It's a lot of time, a lot of hours.
Some people just
a
walk
lot
in
of
thinking it's gonna
trust.
happen.
Yes, and those are the people you can see through right
You know,
when they walk in the door.
Speaking of that, give us a little feedback, and we'll start with you again. You know, what has been your networking experience? Do you know? I know you said you do network a lot. What has it? What do you like about it? What do you want to see change? And the reason why I ask all our guests this every time they come on is because as a networking organization ourselves, we're trying to please the masses and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work.
Exactly.
So with that said, in your networking experience, how do you like it? What do you like? What don't you like? Any feedback with that?
Well, when I first started networking, I went in with very little expectations because what I do was very hard to explain to people. So I had to change my presentation and just keep it very simple.
Yep.
I went in and it's building relationships because this is personal. Not everybody wants to, they feel naked in a
Yes,
way.
yes.
Tell me what they're paying in taxes. Tell me
Yeah.
what their business is making.
Yes.
Personal.
So it's personal. So you really have to get to know that person. And I mean, what you see is what you get with me. I am just, this is who I am. And I share maybe a little bit about myself first, about my family
Right, that's-
situation.
That's it.
That's
and
that's
you
the
connect,
key.
and they get to know who you are.
Right.
So you know what? Now they're thinking to themselves, you know what? Maybe I really should sit down with Dawn.
Yeah, it's not
Exactly.
just business networking.
It's not
Let
business
me
networking.
get to know you.
You, the person,
You.
your family, your children.
That's why when we started the magazine, Long Island Magazine for Entrepreneurs, we have people's faces, not logos.
Yes.
Why?
Very
Because
important.
people want to get to know you. I don't care who you work for.
Right.
Right.
If I can work for you and we have that personal connection, the
Right.
sky's the limit.
Exactly.
You know. How about yourself?
Well, it's funny because when I started networking was about 5 years ago, and I was in the networking group for about 7 or 8 months, and I just wasn't getting it. And then Jill comes into the networking group, you know, supposedly a newbie. She and I go to lunch, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then it just hit off. And because of
happens.
her communication, because of her fire, I want to say, we were able to really
Passion,
Yeah,
passion.
it's her passion. We were able to grow.
You
We
need passion.
Yes, you need
Passion
passion.
goes a
And you
long
can't be
way.
afraid.
And we were outside the box. We started
Yes.
thinking outside the box. It wasn't just
Exactly.
like, I can only deal with these people. I can only help these people. I can only market myself this way. I can only
Exactly.
market myself that way. So it's definitely
Yeah.
helped me think outside the box and
And,
flourish.
it's nice to
Yes.
be able to have that relationship.
Yes.
You know, so like if something's not going right for me or whatever, I'm like, all right, what do you think about this approach? Or how about we try it this way?
Exactly.
You know, and we've actually put a whole group of women together.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah. So we actually brought Michael in, who really wants to join our group, but we're sorry, we're a women-only group.
Women are allowed to do that.
Right. Well, you
Right,
know
the
what? We
men can't
just
do that, though.
we just
I'm
felt
going to start a
that.
men's club.
No, it's not a men's
You
club.
can't do
We
that.
felt that we do enough networking out there
Yes.
that we wanted to just get a group of women, a group of very
But what makes your
powerful.
group different? Because there's so many women groups out there. What makes your group different?
We are either sole business owners. We've just, gone into business for ourselves. We have this hunger and this need. And we just wanted to put a group of people together and start growing from there and do it so that we had each other's backs at all times.
Right.
It's great to be in a room with other people, but you don't know that that person always has your back. Diana, I know. I could trust her with my life. She always has my back, personal and business.
I got
You
your
don't
back.
really have that.
I got your back.
You don't always have that. And that's a very special relationship, and that's what we're trying to accomplish with our little
love it.
group that we have going on.
I
He
love
changed
it.
his name to Michelle.
I changed my name to Michelle when I walked
Okay.
in.
That's fine.
I couldn't really get the
No.
girl thing going.
No, I couldn't get the girl thing going.
But,
So
but
that's
it
what
was-
we
it was
meet
great.
once a month, and, we're just experimenting.
No, I love it. Your group was awesome.
Yeah, very
You know,
intelligent
your group,
women, great
Your group
women.
was awesome. Feel free to contact Network USA if you're interested
Yes,
in it.
absolutely, absolutely.
You know, what I tell people on every show is the fact that, there's so many ways to network, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, you have to realize two things. One, it is not a selling platform, it's a relationship building platform.
Correct.
And two, you have to realize that every single person that you meet, regardless if you can use them personally, if you have contacts to them personally, every single person you meet is technically your outside salespeople.
Right.
And people need to really realize that, because if you come and you go, hey, what do you do? Great, great, I don't need you, okay, and you never talk to that person again, how do you know who knows that person?
Right.
Who did they know? And I say this constantly, every show.
Yep.
And I do it for a reason, because I want to make sure people realize
About
that.
that. And they get it, that every person knows 500 people. Right here, you got 2,000 people right here.
Yes.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
We got
It's
a
great.
few minutes left. With that said, I want to just go around really quick for about a minute or so. Look into the camera, please. And any last words in a way. I got to figure out how to say it
Words
nicely.
of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
I know.
Words of wisdom.
I am
by
priceless
the
up
actual
here, really.
actuary. I love it.
Yes.
Any words of wisdom that that
Well,
you have,
I would
please.
like, if anybody is curious about what actuaries do, what our company and everything is, please visit our website. It's www.eractuaries.com.
If you could spell actuaries.
I know, actuaries, I should.
I'm sorry, I'm a little struggling on that one.
Well, the logo is up, so people can
Okay.
can type it.
Yes.
Just put ERP actuaries. You could Google it, and then our website
I
should come
think
up.
people to definitely contact you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let me speak on behalf of Jill, since I'm closer to you. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
I can thank her from here. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for
I
inviting
can't
me.
take this anymore. No. Thank you. I
you.
hope you enjoyed
So
it.
nice to meet you.
I hope both of you, and we'll
Absolutely.
get to her soon. I hope both of you definitely make that connection, as well as you, and as well as you two
Absolutely.
make the
All of us,
connection.
yes.
Because that's what networking is about.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so my words of wisdom really are that you have to ask the questions, and this is your well-being. So contact the office, visit our website. Our website is www.b as in boy, H as in Henry, NYLAW.com, and you could send us an email, call us, and discuss it. And basically what I say is don't let your disability become a liability. So let me help you deal with the insurance company and the government. And thank you so much, Michael and Jill, for inviting me. This was an amazing, amazing experience.
Well, I thank you. I'll let Jill thank you, but I'll thank you for having
Thank
you for having you on. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
You know, there's a lot to offer out there.
Yes.
You know, with that said, co-host, my lovely, beautiful co-host.
Can't pay me
I
enough.
love it. I
Can't
love
pay
it.
me enough.
First and foremost, let me wish again a happy birthday to Bill.
Yes, happy birthday, Bill.
Bill,
Happy
we
birthday,
missed
Bill.
you. Not really.
Not really.
But,
I was going to say that. Not really.
but please, any last words of wisdom you have for our audience?
I would just say, if you're going to be networking, give us a call, contact Network USA, make the connections, don't sit around, make it happen for yourself.
Great. And last, I thank you for everyone watching today's show. We'll be on again in 2 weeks.
Looking forward to it.
Keep a lookout. Ladies, thank you
Yes.
very much.
Thank you.
made me seem a little more handsomer today.
Yes.
That's even a word. Meryl, I appreciate it. I'm just kidding.
I'll
I had to
sign
one last
autographs
time,
later.
right? One last
One
time.
last time,
Dawn, a pleasure. Jill,
Thank you.
I love you.
as always. Me too.
Till next time, have a
See
great
ya.
night.
I think we